Hi, it's Bethany Norman from Live Well Yoga. I often get asked what the difference is between Pilates and yoga. It's a tricky one to answer because there are similarities and differences, but I'm going to have a go. First of all, I'll say I'm not a Pilates teacher, and my experience of Pilates comes from being a student on the mat. So let me start. Pilates is a series of specific exercises that you do to strengthen the abdomen and the back, with the added benefit of keeping the spine limber and improving posture. Generally in Pilates, the exercises are done as sets with X number of repetitions, and then you move on to the next exercise. The breath is used to aid the movement and recruit the correct muscles. And most of the time Pilates is done on a mat, but it also can be done on a huge machine called a reformer, which actually sounds a bit ominous now I come to think about it. Now, yoga. Yoga is also mat-based. On that note, the mat tends to be thinner and non-slip, whereas the mat for Pilates is thicker to cushion the spine. However, I have a couple of students that do my yoga classes that have, shall we say, older joints, and they prefer a thicker mat for yoga too. There's a huge variety of yoga styles. You've probably heard of Ashtanga yoga, hot yoga, goat yoga even, whereas there's less variety with Pilates. The most widely practiced type of yoga is vinyasa flow, where the exercises or poses, we call them, link to one another in a flowing way, like a choreographed dance, and the breath is linked to the movement as well. Arms raise up overhead, inhaling, rolling down, forward fold, exhale. Half lift, inhaling, step back to down dog, exhale. Coming to high plank, inhaling, lower to the mat, exhale. Hands and feet lift, easy up dog, inhale. Pulling back to down dog, exhale. Step up to the front of your mat, spinal extension, inhale. Release forwards, exhale. Roll back up to stand, arms raise, inhaling. Circling your hands to your heart, exhale. Whilst there is movement in yoga, at times we hold still in a pose, which you won't do so much in Pilates. The yoga poses are not concerned with specific sets or reps, so in that respect it's more freeform. Evenness is important though, so an exercise done on one side of the body will be done on the other. In general, yoga includes more bodyweight exercises for the legs and the upper body than Pilates does, and we tend to do more stretching. The stretching element of yoga is said to be a good way to keep your body nice and supple and therefore avoid injury, whilst Pilates exercises are good for recovery from injury. I find one of the main differences is that yoga is more mindful and often includes specific time for meditation or relaxation. Generally, yoga is done with an awareness of your body and your breath in the present moment, which can have wider benefits for your mental health and well-being. That said, Pilates is exercise, and exercise is good for your mental health too. And in research, 70% of people who do yoga or Pilates said it relieves their stress. However, one difference is how I feel at the end of class. I find that I generally feel kind of blissed out at the end of a yoga class, and it takes some time to come back into the real world. Whereas doing Pilates keeps my energy at a constant level, and after class I can continue with my day without much adjustment. Many of the exercises are very similar, and possibly were developed at around the same time at the start of the 1900s. But that's quite a controversial view, so I won't go into detail as that would necessitate a much longer video. Coming into boat pose, lifting one foot and the other. You can extend the arms if you want, and the legs. Hold here. So a Pilates teaser looks similar, but you come into it in a different way. And then you repeat it 8 times usually. Like the difference in mats, there is a difference in equipment too, though both disciplines can be done as a pure mat workout without equipment. So this is the Pilates roller, my least favourite piece of equipment. So you balance on this and try and do some exercises at the same time. And this is a yoga bolster. This is much more my style. I love both forms of exercise, and I do both as I enjoy how they make me feel and how they complement each other. More core strength from Pilates, more flexibility from yoga as my top picks. Although I teach yoga, I even prefer the way that some exercises are done in Pilates, like bridge pose, and so I include that version in my yoga class. So traditional bridge in yoga would just be to push up into bridge pose and hold that position. Whereas Pilates, you take the time to mobilize through the spine, moving yourself up and down. So as I said, there are similarities and there are differences. If you're trying to decide which one to do, I would say try both to see what suits you. My husband, for example, hates yoga but loves Pilates. Or maybe you'll be like me and love them both. I hope that has helped your understanding of yoga and Pilates. I certainly don't claim to have all the answers, so I'd love to know what you think are the differences or similarities between the two and which one you prefer. That's all for now. Take care. See you later.